William Li just changed everything. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. It's Hamza, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about NIO Day and what my price predictions moving forward for NIO are. We have a lot to cover in this video about NIO Day. I'm going to talk about some of the things that we were told yesterday by the CEO, William Li. I am also going to talk about some things that I am a little skeptical about. So there's good, there's bad, there's a lot of information in this video. So stay tuned and continue watching if you guys want my take on NIO Day and where this stock is going moving forward. I'm taking this information from their website. So once you get on NIO.com right now, you are going to see the new ET7 on their homepage. So it's a beautiful looking sedan. I think they made a couple of really important announcements about it, and I do think that this is going to be a major competitor to Tesla's Model S. There are a few things that I'm going to have to cover about the sedan later on in the video, but the first thing I want to talk about is the shots that William Li, the CEO of NIO, fired on Tesla. I was expecting this to be an event where NIO was going to play nice, as they have been, as the underdog this whole time, but they really turned things around, and they are actually placing themselves in a position that is almost sounds threatening towards Tesla. There were a couple of things mentioned at the event yesterday that were direct attacks at Tesla. In fact, the CEO of NIO compared their technology to Tesla's technology directly, and I'm going to talk about that in just a second. The first thing I want to cover about what was mentioned yesterday were the battery swap stations. So as we all know, NIO currently does have stations placed all over China. They are planning on ramping that up. Not only are they planning on ramping up the number of stations, which mentioned yesterday was 300 more stations than they already have, which is around 100. So that's like 4 times the amount of stations that they plan on building in the very near future. They also mentioned that these stations will be able to power up 320 batteries a day. Did I say 320? I meant 312. So 312 battery packs a day times the number of stations that they have. That's going to be just crazy amount of battery power fueling China. And of course, with the Chinese government backing NIO and backing this technology, we can expect this technology to spread fairly quickly. After the CEO, William Li, talked about the 300 stations that they are going to be adding, the battery charging stations, which by the way are going to be autonomous, meaning you will be able to take your car in and out just using the NIO app, which is phenomenal. I think that's amazing. It'll self-park itself in one of these stations where this battery swap is going to occur. Let's talk about the battery here for a second as well, since we are talking about the charging stations. The batteries are going to move towards solid state technology. Now, this technology was very different a couple of years ago. It has improved drastically, and solid state batteries seem to be where the future is heading for NIO. So they did mention that they will be converting to solid state batteries, which I think is amazing. However, he did say something about these batteries having a range of 1,000 kilometers, which is roughly around 600 miles. I think this is very exciting news. I'm an optimistic person, so I'm going to look at this optimistically. However, I am going to wait for a little bit of validation on this 600-mile solid-state battery that the CEO, William Li, did talk about yesterday. So this is something very important. You guys need to keep your eye on this. The battery technology is really what's going to run these vehicles, right? So we need to get some type of validation confirming the 600-mile range per battery. And once we do, I think it's going to be a very exciting time in the EV space, especially with NIO. Now, let's talk about the jabs that NIO took at Tesla. The first jab NIO took was, of course, against their processors. The CEO, William Li, himself mentioned that their processor, which is a product of NIO and a collab with NVIDIA, is going to be 7 times better than that of Tesla's processor. And the CEO actually said that our processor has the processing power that will outperform Tesla's CPUs by 7 times. And I think that was actually very smart when it comes to placing that company and building that image for NIO. Because now NIO is saying, you know what? Come at us, Tesla. We're big boys now. We're not going to be on the sidelines. We're attacking you. So let's see what's going to happen. And let's truly start competing in the Chinese market. So this is actually something that I thought was very strategic for NIO to keep mentioning Tesla on NIO Day, just because they want to make sure that the world now sees them with a different eye. All this time, we've seen NIO really be the underdog and just focus on the EV brand and the EV space. But now a lot of things are changing because the CEO is comparing their technology to Tesla's technology. Not only that, they're actually saying that their technology is better than Tesla's technology. One other thing that I quickly want to mention about NIO that I actually think is very smart is pricing of the vehicle. As you all know, we all anticipated NIO's pricing to be very comparable to Tesla's pricing, right? So as far as the Tesla Model X or the Model S, we all anticipated for NIO's vehicles to be up there. So NIO did come out with a few price points, and I think NIO actually did a very smart thing when pricing their vehicles. So you can buy the sedan at $78,000, which was very comparable to Tesla's pricing. However, you can buy the same vehicle and have a subscription on your battery changes, and that vehicle is only going to cost you $58,000. And this was, again, something that they did for both of their vehicles, the SUV and the sedan. We were all anticipating that the SUV was going to be priced higher than the sedan, but what NIO came out with and said that the sedan and the SUV will be priced the same at $58,000 with the battery swap subscription. Now, I think this model is actually very smart. It gives them recurring revenue. And one thing that a lot of people haven't talked about here on YouTube is, let's say, for example, I have a situation where I don't really need a long-range battery. What I can see happening here is NIO offering packages. So every time I take over a short-range battery, let's say I'm just driving a couple of miles to work, or I work from home and I don't really drive much, so I'll use the smaller battery for my day-to-day. However, if me and my family decide to go on a road trip from Texas to California, I would love to get that 600-mile range. Now, this is, of course, something that I'm thinking ahead, but I do think that this will be something that NIO considers as part of their subscription model. And it's actually super smart because I don't have to pay the premium of having that long-distance battery the whole time, right? I can only subscribe to the long-range battery when I actually need it, when I'm traveling by road. Otherwise, I can stay possibly on the cheaper lower range batteries, and this would be sufficient really for my day-to-day. This is where I think there's going to be a lot of value that customers see, and NIO is going to also see as part of their subscription model. I can also see them upgrading you to a longer range battery every time you've charged your battery a couple of times, as a gesture. There's just so many things that they can do with the subscription model. They could upgrade you from time to time. They could have different packages. And for this reason, I actually think this is something that is really smart, and I think we're missing out on this type of service from Tesla. I mean, imagine driving a Model S or a Model 3, just the basic battery, and then being able to upgrade that every time you're going on longer trips and you don't want to be worried about, charging your car or SUV. NIO also announced that their existing clients are going to get discounts on these vehicles first, and I think this is an amazing incentive for anybody who is already buying NIO vehicles to add to their fleet. I think this is an easy way for them to gauge how much interest there really is in their new electric vehicles. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of interest. From what I hear, NIO quality control is a little better than Tesla's quality control as far as finished vehicles. Tesla's technology is, of course, way far ahead, and their battery technology is also way far ahead at this point. But it looks like NIO is catching up with their solid state batteries, just like I had mentioned earlier, with their 600-mile range. They did also talk about LiDAR and how their technology is going to outperform Tesla once again, which I was surprised that NIO was comparing themselves to Tesla this early on. But like I said earlier, I really think that NIO are trying to compare themselves now to the big boys, just to show everybody that they are also big players in the EV market and are going to be competing with Tesla in China and Europe. And if you guys have watched my previous video on NIO and the price target of what I had set for NIO already has contracts that are going into place in Europe where they are going to build NIO factories in order to be able to supply European NIO vehicles. This is amazing, exciting news for the stock, exciting news for the company, and now with NIO Day, it's just overall excitement. Now that we've covered everything positive about NIO Day, I do want to talk about one thing that the CEO, William Li, did talk about that I'm a little concerned about, and that is deliveries. Deliveries for these vehicles are scheduled for late 2021, early 2022. So this is about a year from today, from right now. And what concerns me is that the EV space is growing so fast that 1 year from now, things could have changed drastically. Tesla could have come up with some crazy technology within this 1 year that would make these vehicles irrelevant. That is something that I am watching closely. I'm a little skeptical on that 1,000 kilometer battery range. So that's something that I'm still going to look for validation on moving forward. But like I said, the major concern here is that if Tesla comes up with a technology while NIO is producing these vehicles and getting ready to deliver them in 2022. And with that being one of the major factors that we're taking into consideration right now, a price target is something that everybody is looking at and looking for. However, it's not so easy to give you guys a price target as of yet. This is something that we are going to have to work on, and as time progresses, we are going to have to see how those deliveries are coming and what NIO plans on delivering as those dates come closer. With that being said, I'm sure every analyst is going to be updating their pricing for this company, as now they have emerged as probably Tesla number 2. And if the quality of this vehicle is truly what everybody in China thinks it is right now, and from all the videos that I'm seeing, if the quality is this good, they could in fact be a direct competitor to Tesla in a huge way. That was my breakdown on NIO Day and what I thought was important and I had to cover in this video. I am going to continue following this company and watching this technology grow as time progresses. I am also going to be working on a new price target for all my followers here on YouTube. I just need a little more time to come up with a justifiable number. But nonetheless, NIO Day was a huge success. I know a lot of people sold NIO before NIO Day, including me. I did sell half of my NIO shares before NIO Day just because I do know that after these type of days, once a year events, the stock price usually goes down. But in NIO's case, I actually think that when the market opens on Monday, the stock is going to rally just because they had so much good news, and overall the vehicles look good, the technology looks great, and they did drop a couple of pieces of information that we were not expecting at all. Once again, my name is Hamza and I'll see you guys next video.